Padraig, you're just off the course, fresh from the Pro-Am. This is obviously a venue. You had great success as an amateur. Is it in any ways, does the memory spark something?
There's lots of memories of the the general layout is the same. Do I remember particular shots that will help me this week? No, not at all. Physically, I'm a different player than I was back then, and physically the game has moved on since then. Plus, every green has been changed, so there's no home advantage in that sense, except for obviously I understand links golf. I've played links all my life, so there's an advantage there. But you do have to get your head around it. I played yesterday and today, and that's the first links I've played probably since the Open last year. Right. So you have to get your head around it and understand the ball doesn't quite go as far. Just trying to read the lies differently, which are flyers, which aren't flyers. So what you tend to see out here is the first cut of rough, you get soft shots coming out of it, so you're losing, not quite 10%, but nearly 10% of the distance off an iron. But if you go into the heavier rough, it comes out faster, so you're gaining 10% out of the heavier rough. So it's just getting your head around it. It's kind of I'm way ahead of everybody else because I was brought up playing this sort of golf. But you just got to play and deal with it and get on with it, and in a couple of weeks' time I'll be a lot better with it, but hopefully by Sunday I'll have managed it well enough.
If we're doing scoreboard journalism since your return from the wrist injury, we'd look and say it's been a bit of a struggle. There've been quite a few miscuts. There was one decent tournament in there, but actually for you being out on the course, how have you felt your game is?
Yeah, look, I feel like every week I play, it's like my first week back out after a winter break, and I'm searching and running around trying to find my game. I've kind of come into this 3-week break and gone, well, let's take stock of where we're at, do the right things for a 3-week run basically, and let's see where my game is at, rather than trying to find it. Just let it happen for a few weeks, and that will give me a measure of where I'm at and what I need to do.
How's your head mentally after the break? Because it's funny, usually you come in and do this press conference on the eve of the Irish Open and someone will bring up the odds for the week and you'll feel the bookies have underestimated you if they've never seen you play links golf. The way you were talking there, are the confidence levels where they generally are on the eve of the Irish Open? Has the wrist injury been more of a setback mentally than you thought it might be?
The wrist injury has been quite a setback. I've been surprised that I've had injuries before and they've never bothered me. The wrist has definitely set me back. Somebody told me they got 100 to 1 on me.
Yeah,
that's crazy odds. But if I was a betting man, I'd put the money on me that you're going to put on this week. I'd put it on for the Open in 2 weeks' time. I definitely can be ready for the Open in 2 weeks' time. I'm taking a chance with being ready for the Irish Open starting tomorrow.
You mentioned that you spoke to Padraig you spoke to Shane Lowry about, he was saying he was going down to the range and he'd see you down there, and you said not today, which is very unusual. Are you having to protect the wrist or?
No, Jay. I've hit more balls in the last couple of months and I've been a madman. As obsessed as you could possibly get. So no, the wrist isn't stopping me doing that. There is a little bit of mobility issue in it, and I do get a little bit of pain, but that's seemingly going to be there for 9 months or whatever. So I have to manage it in some ways, get the physio on it, but nothing stops me hitting golf shots. The reason I'm not doing it this afternoon is I don't need to. I need to go and practice my putting and hit a few bunker shots. I don't need to go and hit the longer shots.
It's a pretty incredible setup when you drive into Lahinch, what Paul McGinley and the European Tour have put together, and the sun is shining. He generally seems to have the Midas touch with these things. You're on the rota for hosts. A lot of talk maybe it'll be next year. He tends to ruin these things for everybody else.
Yeah, McGinley has certainly put the work in, and he's got the weather. It's unbelievable here today, if anything. McGinley does this, but he puts so much effort in. The next people have a high expectations coming following him. I don't know who's going to run it next year. Certainly we're all talking about, there's 5 of us who are possible to do it, and a lot depends on where the sponsor decides to go.
There was speculation that it might be you and the island next summer.
But a lot comes down. There's no venue yet, and that's a huge part. The venue goes hand in hand with whoever's hosting. So the sponsor has to basically come up with a venue, and the tour have to come up with a venue. They all have to decide, and once that's decided, then they can kind of pick, okay, well, this would be the right person in that area, that vicinity, to host it. So there's nothing decided, but I will host it in the future. There's no doubt about it. But as I said, at the moment there's 4 or 5 of us, and as I said, if Shane Larry gets his finger out and wins a major, there'll be 6 of us who could be hosting at any stage over the next number of years.
Well, let's get through this week first. Enjoy it.
Thank you.